Hello, everyone. Happy New Year.
Woo!
Welcome back to the first Page 3 Hot Topics of 2022. How exciting. I am joined by Daisy and Chloe this week. Unfortunately, Jay can't make it, but the three musketeers will power through. So, girls, of course. There has been a lot going on with the headlines this week. We've got everything from Molly-Mae, reality TV star. If you didn't know her, she was on Love Island. You might have been following her YouTube before, maybe you haven't. All the way through to Boris Johnson, calls for him to resign. And of course, we'll be talking about dancing on ice and New Year's resolutions. Are you guys sticking to them? Have you stuck to them? Are you bothered? It's the kind of thing you say on New Year's Eve and then you get severely hungover and then you get McDonald's the next day when you said you wouldn't. But yeah, we'll talk about all of that today. Of course, we love hearing all of your comments, whether you agree, disagree with us, then pop them in the comment section below and we'll get them answered for you. So to kick things off then, we had a Molly-Mae reality TV star. A viral clip of her this week went out when she was speaking on a podcast, Diary of a CEO. Now, if you don't know Molly, she's got a huge following online. She got a massive contract, fair play to her, with Pretty Little Thing, which is an online retailer. And I think she got paid hundreds of thousands of pounds to take up this creative director role. Now, she's young. I think she's 22 years old. She's definitely in her early 20s. And she made a comment, something along the lines of, she's worked her absolute bum off. And we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Now, obviously, that is one small clip out of a big podcast, and it has not gone down well with people online. She referenced it with something along the lines of Beyonce or something. But yeah, it's not gone down well. People are like, right, say that to a homeless person, perhaps. All have the same 24 hours in a day. Obviously, we've all got different backgrounds, etc. So some people don't have the opportunities that other people might have. But girls, initial reaction to it. Do you think that it's been on the verge of bullying? Do you think that it's been right that she's received negative backlash? Do you think she's in the wrong, the right? I'd love to hear a conversation about this today.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one, isn't it? Because we all say things out of context and, maybe she did mean it, but not quite how it was, shown to the public. And I do think the fact that everyone is talking about it, everyone is writing so much about her on social media, that must be really hard from in her shoes, where she is young and she has said something and it's kind of just been dropped in the conversation. And she has come back and said it wasn't what she meant, how she meant it. But for everybody to be sitting there and slating her, I think that must be really hard in her shoes to then be like, gosh, I've got to go back on social media. What's everyone going to say about me? I think it's hard for her.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I mean, she went, trending on Twitter for days on end.
It's just been well blown out of proportion, isn't it? Really, like, come on, like she said something, like, but it's been a bit twisted by some people. I think people have twisted it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not as bad as it seems. I don't think she meant it like that. If you know what I mean.
It is one clip out of a full podcast. And obviously lots of people are reacting to it. Media outlets such as Daily Star have been covering it all the way through. I think even BBC and stuff have been covering it. So it's not just been a tabloid thing. And obviously everyone's got their own opinion online. But of course, as she's a Love Islander, Love Islanders have also got involved now too. Shauna Phillips, who was on one of the series of Love Island, tweeted out, if we can just get up the tweet, Molly-Mae is young, who's had a lot of success really quickly and not a lot of life, in inverted commas. So I can understand why she holds these views. We all say things when we were younger and look back and think, well, that was stupid, lol. No shade, I want to live in her bubble. Now, Maura, who has very publicly also been on Love Island and who is actually friends with Molly, said, surely you know someone in the industry how lonely and scary it can be when the whole internet is slamming you. You're entitled to your opinion, yes, but I'm really surprised you commenting on this at all. Do you think that maybe Shauna should have kept quiet about this, or do you think, it's her right to sort of, I guess, put her 2 pence in?
I I think everyone's like entitled to their own opinion. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's going to say something. She's in the proper limelight. Everyone talks about it. Everyone knows Molly-Mae. So everyone's just going to put her opinion across. So I just think, everyone's just going to talk about it. No matter what she says, everyone's going to say something. Like they're going to pick something. That is being in that sort of life. Do you know what I mean?
100%. I mean, that's a picture with Molly and Maura there, and they're two very successful people off Love Island. I've not seen Shauna on a lot of follow-up projects since Love Island. So maybe, maybe she wanted to get it. Could be an argument. She wanted to get in the spotlight by commenting on it. Daisy, what do you think?
I think everyone's entitled to their opinions at the end of the day. I, as an individual, wouldn't go and put my opinions on the internet. But like you're saying, maybe when you are in that industry, it is good to kind of pop it out there so that you can also be a part of it all. But I don't think you should ever big yourself up on somebody else's like misfortune. Do you know what I mean? Like, I probably wouldn't have said anything. Each to their own. I just feel sorry for her. I'm pretty sure if we rung her now and said, do you think everyone has the same 24 hours in a day? She would very much be like, of course we don't. We're all different. We have different jobs. It was just...
definitely.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, right? You know? And Shauna does have a point, as a 22-year-old woman. We obviously don't know the full extent of Molly's life experience, but I'm sure someone is a 22-year-old woman versus somebody of someone who's later on in life. I'm sure people change. But also on that same note, she's in such a big position of power. She's got millions of followers on Instagram, YouTube, all combined, as well as Twitter. Then do you think that maybe it's on her to be educated on these issues?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you are such a big aspect to the public and you've got people looking up to you and, all these young girls and younger generations that think, oh gosh, I have to be like that by the time I'm 22. I mean, she's so amazing. She is so young. But if you achieve something at 22 or if you achieve something at 50, it doesn't mean that you failed or anything like that. So I think she does have to be a bit more careful in what she does say, just so that everyone else can have realistic expectations of life.
Because she's a role model to a lot of younger girls as well. Do you know what I mean? Saying you got the same, I see what you're saying nowadays, saying you got the same 24 hours a day, like younger girls going to think, oh, am I doing something wrong? Like, because I'm not like that now. You got to be so tactical what you say in the limelight, haven't you? Like, I wouldn't think that. I'd just say it though, and then I'd think, oh my god, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
You just
100%.
say it, but then you'd think after actually.
But then also she's got the experience of reality TV and she knows what editing and stuff can be like. Sophie said, do you think people need to be more careful with their criticisms, especially given how previous Love Island stars have fallen victim?
Definitely, I do.
I think that's what's the most sad thing about it all, is that people just don't learn from the past and they're so quick to jump on social media and shame people the way that they do. Everybody makes mistakes, they really, really do. But the important thing is if she learns from them. If this will come out again next week, if she's done the same thing, maybe, people might have more of a leg to stand on. But she's still a human being. She breathes the same air as us. She's got the same blood as us. Like, she's made a mistake. I don't think it's fair for everybody to jump online and make her so scared to leave the house or even like open her Instagram app to see what's it must be really hard.
I mean, she has apologized to fans who misunderstood the comments. Do you think that is a worthy enough apology, I guess? Because is that an apology? Because you're essentially saying you guys misunderstood the comments here. Do you think that's a full apology, really?
I think that word is wrong to use. I don't think. Did she use that word?
Yeah, she said.
Oh no, I don't think she should have used that word. I don't like it.
Yeah, that is actually. So she put up a story to her Instagram. She did use the word misunderstood.
No, I don't like it. It sounds a bit rude. I don't know. You misunderstood. Like, it sounds a bit like I don't know. Like, it sounds a bit rude.
Yeah, so it's like a blaming.
Yeah, like, sorry, you misunderstood me. Like, I don't know. I don't like that word. I would have changed it.
Okay, and Daisy, do you think the apology is okay?
I think that even I agree as well with Chloe that misunderstood maybe not the best terminology to use, but I think she could have like put up a video of her sobbing an apology and people would still have found faults in it.
Exactly.
Another very famous reality TV star influencer. In fact, I don't think Elle Darby's actually been on reality TV, so I take that back. But she's a very big YouTube and influencer, I guess, online, again with millions of followers. She put up on a different mishap slash she shouldn't have said what she said. She put up an apology online and she was sobbing in that video, and people still weren't happy with it. So you're right, Daisy.
Yeah, they're always going to say something no matter what. Do you know what I mean?
100%, and that's the internet for you. It's got its pros and cons. But we wanted to hear what you guys thought at home about all of this. Do you think people have overreacted to the viral clip that features Molly-Mae? No, 58%. Yes. So that's what you guys think. I'm guessing from both of your reactions today talking about it that you don't agree. You think people have slightly overreacted to the clip.
I think yes and no.
Yeah, same. Yes and no.
She is a role model. She is so open in the public eye, and people will be triggered by it because they're going to be in a very different position to her. And as always, life isn't fair. So I think people will just be so quick to be like, how dare you say that when you've got X amount of money and you're doing this? That's not fair on everyone else. So I do get why people say no, but I guess.
It's one of those ones where it's a bit of cancel culture as well, but I'm sure over time, hopefully, Molly will be able to get through. I mean, PLT said they're still going to keep her as a creative director. If I was on 600k or 700k a year, whatever it is, I'd still be happy.
Yeah, she's still winning.
Yeah, she's still winning. So moving on from Molly-Mae and on to Boris Johnson. Polar opposite. But they've both been hitting.
Oh, look at him, he's so cute.
There he is, walking out of 10 Downing Street. He has had the spotlight on him again this week. Shock. With more happenings coming to light. So ITV News got an exclusive, which was from his secretary sending an email to 100 people CC'd at Downing Street for a bring your own booze garden party, essentially socially distanced drinks, I think is the way that they put it. 100 people were CC'd, which meant 100 invites would have gone out. 100 people could have turned up.
Where was mine?
Yeah, I didn't get the invite, but that
party.
This was on May 20th last year, when the general public were told we could only meet one other person from a household at a socially distanced space. People couldn't see their dying relatives in hospitals. People had to say goodbye to people over the phone, on FaceTime. That's even if they could. It was a horrible, horrible time for a lot of people, and people are still grieving it. And that is why people are so angry at this coming to light. Allegedly, reportedly, Boris might have been there with his wife, Carrie. I mean, it was sent from his secretary, and he is the boss of Number 10. So if he didn't get invited to his own party, you'd be a little bit annoyed, especially by your secretary. But he has been avoiding these questions, saying that there is a full investigation going on with somebody from within the government. And then the results will come out in due course. So, girls, initial reaction, there are calls for him to resign. Should he resign, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah. No, I'm willing to be lenient with Molly-Mae making her mistakes at 22, but for Boris leading the country and everybody else, absolutely not. No room for mistakes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, zero rooms for mistakes.
I mean, if it was just a world just of me, I'd keep him because I just love drinking. He likes to party and he seems all funny, but he's just not right for Prime Minister at all.
No, he's not. He evidently isn't. And this is the first time something's come around. Yeah. He actually said he was furious and there'd be a full investigation. But then again, there's just another thing that comes out the next week. So Met Police last year, when all of these different things were coming out, we all saw that clip of that sort of press conference with the laughing, etc., alongside other party speculations happening. Met Police said there wasn't enough information. available to investigate all the rule breaking. Now, obviously, there's an email which the Met Police have been sent. Do you think they should be investigating all the rule breaking now? Do you think there is sufficient evidence? Do you think the government should be held to account?
I think yes, but I also think they're going to say, oh no, sorry, that's not enough evidence, because they're probably there as well. So
yes, agree with Daisy, definitely.
So who would you, I mean, let's say he does resign, would you like to see the Conservatives still in there? Because 100 people were CC'd onto that email. I think about 40 something people came. How many people knew about it? How many front benchers knew about it? You know, can you trust the government right now?
No, not at all. They're well snaky.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Sorry, I was going to say, I think it's so sad that in that moment of time, like from somebody that was giving birth, that had to be on their own, people whose family members were dying and they couldn't say goodbye, to people whose mental health was being bad because they live on their own, to people that owned restaurants that were terrified of losing their whole career and everything, to Boris having a garden party. I think, like,
it just sounds something out of like a dream or something. It don't sound real.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It sounds mad.
Beggars belief. Like 100 people got CC'd into that email, and you're telling me on a shared buffet that's COVID friendly?
Oh my god!
It's not.
Wow.
Honestly, it's not. And people are still dealing with trying to find a new job. They've got, furloughed, and then they haven't been able to get a new job. People have died. It's unreal. So let's go to the poll then, and let's see what you guys thought. Do you think PM Boris Johnson should resign? Yes, 87%.
I'm not shocked at all.
Easy. Bye, Boris.
Oh God. I think a lot of people have lost their trust in the government. And he's just faced more and more pressure to resign. So who knows? Next week there might be something else that pops up in the news headlines that we can address.
Yes,
we'll see.
Crazy.
But moving on from Boris Johnson, something a little bit lighter. A little bit more positive, as it's the first show back of 2022. Dancing on Ice is making a return. So that'll give us something to watch on the telly if you've not already watched enough during the pandemic. And they are returning, and they've got a big cast with ex-soap stars, reality TV stars. To my knowledge, there's no big standout name like Caitlyn Jenner or anything, but they all are. And Shauna, is Shauna on it this year, I think, or is it Liberty Pool? I'm getting confused. It's one of the Love
Liberty.
Island. Yeah, Liberty.
It's Liberty. Yeah.
It's Liberty, the blonde one.
Yeah.
Glam.
Yeah.
Do you think she will do well?
Yeah, I've actually watched some of her training videos on her Instagram. I think it's amazing how people go from like walking, never skating before, to being like flipped up in the air and doing like roly-polies and someone's shoulders on ice skates.
I know. How do they do it? I mean, if I got on the ice, I'd just literally fall on my face. Like, there'd be no training for me. I'd be awful on it.
So do you still think that there is a space for dancing on ice? Because I personally, I saw it coming back onto the screens and I thought, I'm not that excited.
I'm not excited at all. I hate stuff like that. Strictly. It's all like my nan loves stuff like that and dancing on ice, but I just don't watch it.
What about you, Daisy? Are you excited?
It's really a grandmother thing, I think.
I think it's a Saturday night thing, isn't it? I don't think I'll go out my way to watch it on a Saturday night. But I also do think it's good for the older generation that do like it, and the people that are too scared to go out because of COVID. And people isolating, good.
It's definitely.
Exercise. I know I watch it and I think, oh gosh, I wish I should learn to dance. Maybe I should take ice skating lessons.
You're right, Daisy. It's a family favourite. Maybe I'm being too much of a Scrooge.
It's a nanny thing. It's a nanny thing.
Think of your nan.
Yeah, exactly. And the outfits are always amazing. And
she gets so excited for the outfits and that, bless her. Oh.
And there's that iconic Gemma Collins moment where she went on and slammed onto the ice.
Oh God!
I think that would be me as well. I'm not very agile. But yeah, no, we'll all see that coming to light, and I'm sure we'll even talk about it. I'm sure it will come up in the headlines. Maybe there'll be another Gemma Collins moment. Who knows? But Holly and Phil will be back as well, hosting it. So more people on This Morning, I assume, dropping in whilst Holly and Phil are off that. So are you excited for a new series? We asked.
No.
71% said no, but that is the Daily Star audience. And is that really a grandma audience? We don't know.
No.
We want you on the Daily Star audience too. You can bring it up. You can bring up the grannies on the Daily Star. We don't have anything against grannies. We're not ageist. But no. And that's what they thought. 71% said no, they're not excited. But I'm sure it will be a great series, nevertheless. But moving on from Dancing on Ice, on to New Year resolutions. We obviously all want to wish you a very, very happy. And it's definitely different from last year. We're out of the big lockdown, as it were. Obviously, there are still restrictions in place, but we've come a long way in a year, even though it feels like it's been the same time every single day. We've come a long way if you actually look back. But of course, with New Year's comes resolutions and people have all these big plans. But we are officially on the 12th of January. Girls, did you do any resolution this year?
No, I didn't have any. I didn't stick to it anyway, if I had any. Maybe to stop meeting F boys, but I didn't stick to it. So
now
it's gone.
If you're wondering what that is at home, Chloe means bad boys. Daisy, what do you think?
I think it's a lot of pressure to have a New Year's resolution. Oh, actually, no, I've been doing 100 sit-ups every day. That's been
wow!
It's such a good one. And I'm doing it with my friend as well. So we were very hungover at the weekend and said, guess who's doing 200 sit-ups tomorrow?
Oh my God, that is such a good one.
But otherwise, no.
Have you actually stuck to 100 sit-ups?
Yeah, 100 sit-ups a day. It takes like 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
But I mean, now, I don't mean to be a killjoy here, but are they full sit-ups?
Yeah.
Because I want to see those feet.
Film it on your Instagram for proof.
Yeah. I want to see the full. I'm not talking a small crunch.
I can't. I'm not. Yeah, all the way up, but I just literally drop to the floor and do them before shower, after shower, and I've actually got carpet burns on my bum because I've been doing it on the carpet. So they should come with a health and safety warning.
Now, is that because one of your New Year's resolutions is to get more fit?
Yeah, well, no.
No, mine's not. Mine's gone downhill. All I've been eating is takeaways.
Oh, good. Well, this is a strong start. So obviously we asked you guys at home about resolutions, because I think a lot of people just say that they'll do something, and as I said earlier, we'll get through to New Year's Day, get in a McDonald's, and you've already broken it.
Oh God.
Have you guys broken it? No, 56%.
What? That's good.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if you guys being honest at home.
Yeah, they're lying.
And honestly, it's the best policy, guys. So I will ask you again next week, and we'll come back to this very briefly. And I want to see an honest answer, because I know all my friends, they haven't stuck to it. But I don't think you should beat yourself up about it either. I think you should just go into the new year not being too much pressure on yourself. But I think that is all we have time for this week. We've spoken about Molly-Mae, Boris, Dancing on Ice, New Year's resolutions. We've gone from the dark to light. So hopefully you'll join us again next week. Hopefully we'll have the full crew. If not, then it will be the Three Musketeers again. Bring me through pastry hot topics. It's 2022. We really enjoyed having you today. And we'll see you again next week.
Can I just say a shout out? Happy birthday, Mummy! I love her. It's my mum's birthday. Happy birthday, Mum.
What's your mum's name?
Karen.
Happy birthday, Karen.
An old Karen. What did I say about Karens? Oh, don't. Karen.
Well,
an old Karen.
But anybody else is enjoying a January birthday too.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Right.
Happy birthday.
We are now off.
See you later, girls. Bye.